Heavy is the head that has to manage all of this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
We're now incentivized to buy what we already buy.
Fumbling through college had me building.
I also got some done on the other side.
And that was right around, I would say, May, maybe, right before renewing the lease for this property. Welcome to the channel, Martha.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, I was going to say, I am getting up in their names, I'll tell you what.
Bills paid by other people, life was never this good. I had to step back, knowing that it's...
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today, we're going to do things a little bit differently. We're actually going to talk a little bit of speculation, which is not something I do often on this channel. I do pride myself on investing for the future. I pride myself on talking about things that I'm actually invested in. I pride myself on doing as I say and not just saying things and having others do it that I don't personally do. But this conversation has arisen because it is getting to a point where it can no longer be ignored. So when we're talking about investing in 2025, we absolutely now do have to consider cryptocurrency as a form of investment that is taking over, that is something that should be looked at. And when I pull out my Series I bond, I will most likely be investing some of that into some cryptocurrency, and I will do an update video so that you know whether or not I did or not. Now, again, I am not your financial advisor. I'm just an average guy on YouTube who does invest and makes more than 3 times the average return in the stock market. And today we're going to talk about Bitcoin and how it has touched over $100,000. And the incoming president, Donald Trump, has already made strides to say that they're going to have someone in charge of cryptocurrency. And they're also going to have the U.S. government start to invest and buy in to cryptocurrency over a period of time. Now, obviously, Bitcoin has gone up significantly for that reason, but we're still speculating, right? Even though it was confirmed that the government will start to buy into it, it doesn't necessarily mean that that will absolutely happen and go down. And so, you know, there's when Donald Trump was in office, there was always something asset-wise that was moving. And I'm pretty sure that he bought a ton of Bitcoin before he dropped that bombshell of a news. Because once he did that, I mean, Bitcoin absolutely skyrocketed $60,000 all the way to $100,000. People were making money hand over fist, okay? If you had $20,000, $40,000, $100,000 in there, you essentially... You essentially did not understand or comprehend how quickly your money just doubled and grew. And so crypto is truly becoming something that you cannot ignore. There were plenty of times when I knew when it was at $20,000 that I should have put my money in there, that I knew that it would go back up. But at the same time, we're talking about an asset that went from 20,000 to 40,000 to 20,000 to 40,000 to 20,000 to 40,000 to 20,000 to 60,000 to 20,000. And I'm just like, at some point, it has to go under 20,000, which it did. And now it's all the way at $100,000. Okay. At this point, we know that there are some big players in Bitcoin. We know that there are tons of companies that have invested into Bitcoin, and those companies are not going to just pull their money out willy-nilly. And so we have an asset that used to be a floor of 20,000, and that's no longer the floor. The floor might be 60,000. The floor might be 50,000. But because the floor has not been hit, I don't know what the floor is for Bitcoin right now. It's definitely not 100,000 because by the time I was making this video, I saw it at like $96,000. So essentially, we have to now figure out what the floor for Bitcoin is because it's going to be more than 20,000 now. And so you have to readjust. You have to reassess the situation. And then you have to tell yourself, is it worth investing in, right? Do I have the funds to where it would be worthwhile to even invest in the market? If you put $5,000 and Bitcoin is at 80 and it goes back to 100,000, you've essentially made a 20% return on your $5,000, which is about $1,000. That's $6,000. That's still a lot of money to make in a year, 20% return, but it's not going to be as instantaneously gratifying. It's not going to be life-changing as it would have been putting $5,000 in when it was $40,000, right? Like the amount of growth that you would have had instead would have been like $12,000 in assets instead of six. And so, I'm going to be looking at several markets because Costco absolutely crushed it in 2024. Meta also crushed it in 2024. I believe Tesla is making a ton of strides already in 2025. It was up another 8% just last week for me. And so, you have to look at these markets, see what's working, see what's not. I don't anticipate Netflix having a good year in 2025. I do want to bring that up since we're talking stocks. And the reason for Netflix not improving is because I believe that they've maxed out on their user base. I believe that they don't have any more subscriptions to give to someone. The most that they can do is increase the cost of it. And if they increase the cost too much, then they'll start to lose people as well. And so I don't see how Netflix can do more unless they start to bundle other services. And that's what I would like to see from Netflix. I would like to see them start to bundle services, become more than just a streaming giant. And you already see them taking strides in other areas like boxing and things like that, pay-per-view matches and things like that. But at the end of the day, we're going to need more. They're doing live shows. They're doing other things to get people involved and ingratiated within the Netflix community. You're almost becoming a part of them rather than just, a subscription service. That's a part of your everyday life. I like that part of it, but Netflix will need to do more in order to keep people happy. Similar to Meta. Meta is working on the metaverse. They already have more than 3.2 billion users actively on their site. And so with that being said, the only thing that they can do is improve. They're not looking to acquire more people, but they're looking to expand their services, right? That's what Netflix needs to do right now, is expand its services. So I'm going to keep an eye on Netflix and what it does in 2025. I'm going to try to be ahead of the curve if they do anything positive. And then I'm also going to be looking at other emerging companies to see what they're all about. But definitely keep an eye on crypto this year. And when I say keep an eye on it, I don't mean that you have to invest right away. I mean, start to learn more about it. Start to understand the asset class and see if it is something that you are willing to put, 5% of your net worth into, whatever that 5% may equate to. And, Bitcoin was up over 280% at one point. So, 280% return is a good return in my book. Will it do that in 2025? Probably not, especially with it already being at $100,000. But the likelihood of it going up another 40, 50, 60%, I think is pretty high. And so I'm going to be looking at that, and you want to get in before it's at 200,000. At that point, you don't want any part of it, right? So, let's see what we can do. Let's see what this year has in store for us. So when we're talking about an asset class that is worth our eyeballs now, is worth all of our attention, is going to be Bitcoin. I'm not talking about every other crypto in the world. I'm talking about the big player, the big dog, the main one, and that's Bitcoin. Now, if you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You know I post on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify for podcasters. And I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.